Last night we had the USA Truck Series start their playoff stretch. Today we've got the Busch Series starting their playoff stretch and rolling in with the lead after winning the regular season. Al Bunch is going to look to try and perhaps chase his first championship here in the Busch Series after what's been a pretty good season for him. But he's got his work cut out for him. As you can see, Trevor Walker starting up front here, second in the points to Al Bunch by 10 points. He's definitely going to want to try to get as many points here today at Talladega. Front row, James Fireball Robert, also a championship contender. So I don't have to look too far back behind Adam Gerber-Forian and Nadak Hagum here. Al Bunch starting in 5th alongside Santi Messi. Tyler Landa and John Brinker. Feel good story there with Taden Berggren making it into the playoffs. It's been a roller coaster season for sure. Hopefully he can capitalize on it here. Fred Jones, Daniel Paulus also in, as well as Braden Hunt with his win earlier in the year. Ethan Creech and Andrew Moger. Moger just came up short of making it. Holmes with his win in. Adam Starr also in on points. Then we got Belafon and Zach Armstrong. Craig Bush and Justin Patrick. Luis Rodriguez and Jack Davis. Brian DeBlank's going to be fighting for a championship, as well as Jordan Walker there. Fastnot getting the win last week at Pocono. Locked his way into the round of 13. Gavin Legend right beside him. Kellen Oakley and James King. Lynn Farrell and Riley Sorrell Tracy. Clarence Bonner and Logan Nagy. Josh Harrison and Kat Durham. And Tom Cording starting at the very back of the field. 120 laps here today. Talladega always, as it has been, unpredictable. We're getting ready for the Laughing Clown 266, 100 laps. 120, my bad. We're going to have a little bit of extra race on deck for us as the 266 miles now is instead $320. Truck race we just saw the other night, Atlee Weiss took home the win. Locks his way into the round of 9 for the USA Trucks. And so perhaps someone in the Busch Series here will get the same opportunity with a win here tonight and lock their way into the next round of the playoffs. But that's never a given, especially with the wild card that is Talladega. Green flag waves and they're off and rolling. James Robert off to the early lead here. Nadak Hagum there. He has a win on the season. His last, the one win he got came at Daytona, so he knows how to get around these super speedways. We did see the big one in the truck race. Took out about 10 drivers easily during the second caution last night. Here's to hoping we have a good clean race and very minimal carnage for the Busch Series here. 3 wide for second as Trevor Walker is blocking all paths. Charging up behind him. Al Bunch creeping up to second here. And now we've got Al Bunch to the lead. Fighting side by side there with Trevor Walker. This is going to be a drag race into turn 3. Tyler Landa giving the push there as Al Bunch steals the lead away. And Trevor Walker is going to get hung up high to dry. Fred Jones up to second, Daniel Paulus in third, and oh, what a heartbreak for Matthew Fastnot, blowing up at the back of the field there. He's got 99% damage to the engine, so that's going to be a critical end of the day for him. Fred Jones to the lead. That would be an interesting story if we get Fred Jones in victory lane. Matthew Fastnot's going to dig himself a hole in this first round of the playoffs. Likely is going to have to go to Bristol or even the Indianapolis road course in a must-win situation with a blown engine here today at Talladega. Al Bunch stuck way up high there. Looks like he's going to get scraped into the wall. They're going 4 wide right around him. This is going to be a sticky situation for the lead championship contender. 3 and 4 wide. Looks like they're going to... Wow, Trevor Walker's in the midst of this back here too. And they're wrecking. Our top 2 contenders involved in that wreck there. Trevor Walker and Al Bunch. 4 wide. Looks like Al Bunch is going to get very minimal damage. Side of that car looks rough. But ultimately, they were ping-ponging back and forth there until finally he lost it. Pretty mild wreck early on in the running here. As you can see, 3 wide. And Trevor just connected with both the 24 and the 79 there. Very mild damage. I'm thinking they're going to be all right. 21 starts to slide down the track here. That's often a sticky situation to be in. And he's going to be able to drive it off. So we're going to be under caution here. And those guys will get relegated to the back of the field. Current leader is Fred Jones. So after pit stops, it looks like Taden Berggren and Bella Fawn cycle around to the lead, taking the position away from Fred Jones. We're going to get restarted here with now 33 cars left running as another retirement, another title contender, Jordan Walker out with a valve failure. So that makes 2 drivers out of the mix that are championship contenders, and a couple of them that just got involved in a wreck that are going to have to fight from the back. With the restart here on lap 9, so they're getting cycled back out here. 3 wide, 2 wide, a lot of racing going on here. Fred Jones making the pass for the lead. Gavin Legend on the inside there, making up some spots. Right now, Taden Berggren stands to gain the most, being one of the few drivers that pointed their way into the round of 13 here. As long as he can find ways into victory lane, he's going to continue to knock out stages of this playoff stretch that might very well be one of few opportunities to get a championship here in the Busch Series. Of course, the fascinating thing about motorsports and playoffs, even though people are eliminated from championship contention, you still have 20 other drivers out there competing with the championship contenders that can steal the show or make the day more difficult for them. Like, for example, Fred Jones at the front of the field, not a championship contender. He has nothing else to gain out there but get into victory lane. This win would be good for the team's morale and a huge boost to perhaps their program in next season. But it doesn't allow him a chance to move on and fight for the championship like some of these guys that are tied into the field. As mentioned, our top 2 drivers are Trevor Walker and Al Bunch at the front of the point standings here in the playoffs. But we do have drivers like John Brinker here, Lucas Holmes in front of him, James Fireball Robert behind him. Those guys are going to have more work to do with the limited amount of points that they were able to attain for this first round of the playoffs. As you can see, Trevor Walker is far off the pace, so he's going to have a rough day here. A good day to have at least a little bit of a points buffer with the wins that he got in the regular season. Those 21 points might end up getting all used up here today, and he might still be able to stay safe and in the top 9 that'll be transferring to the next round, but definitely a nervous moment that he's going to have a rough day here at Talladega. Al Bunch as well, running 30th, a little bit off the pace. The wreck getting slammed into the wall seems to have woed up that car a little bit. Now we got Brian DeBlanc fighting for the lead here. That would be huge for that Audi team to get a win and have a strong run here in the playoffs. It'll definitely help Audi's case of getting into the Cup Series with a good research and development here in the Busch Series. He's able to get by the lap traffic there of Logan Nagy pretty quickly, but that's only going to bunch up the rest of the field behind them and give us another situation where a wreck could come. As Logan Nagy is going to get shuffled. Man, they are 3 by 3 by 3 at the back, 2 by 2 by 2 in the mid-pack. They're trying to put together a third line, but it's not getting good enough run on that outside. Brian DeBlanc out front doing just what he needs to today. Still a lot of racing here, and obviously if things stay green, we'll see green flag pit stops, which could really shake up the running order. Highly doubt that we're going to see green flag pit stops this early in the run. With that many cars still out on track, it's a matter of time before we see our next wreck. And Taden Berggren is going to lead the lap this time by, as it shuffles DeBlanc up into the second groove there. Craig Busch, Nadak Hagam, Tom Cording, and James Robert now to the lead. Wow, Al Bunch is nowhere near the draft. Could be a good thing that he's going to get far enough back that he could avoid any possible wreck that'll happen here at the front of the field. So maybe, just maybe Al Bunch is playing it safe right now, knowing that there's 100 laps still to go in this one. And it's looking like he's probably smart enough to do that, because this field at the front could get very volatile very quickly. As you can see, the mid-pack or the back end of this lead draft are very, very tight. 3 wide all the way through the back there. Few of them just a car shy of being 4 wide. Braden Hunt in the lead right now. Craig Busch getting shuffled way high. He's going to have to stay in that third lane. He does not want to create a fourth lane, because that'll certainly spell a wreck for us. Still 3 wide. There's ever so close an opportunity to be in 4 wide territory there. They stayed off of doing that, which is for the best that we don't get a wreck. But wow, they are 3 wide all the way through the field. They are the tightest they've been all day so far here on lap 20. Braden Hunt in the lead, leading over John Brinker and Daniel Paulus. John Brinker and Daniel Paulus both would love to get a win here and move up in the playoffs. Neither of them have seen victory lane yet this season. Wow, that's quite the move there, as Adam Gerberian takes the lead away from Brinker. It looked kind of chaotic, the move made to take the lead, but No wreck or anything happened from it. Lucas Holmes right behind Gerber Forian there as they run towards the start-finish line. And everyone's staying pretty civilized so far. They are racing very hard, but they're keeping it clean. And they're closing in on the lap traffic of Trevor Walker. This will be championship implications for sure, as Trevor Walker is going to make it back to the end of the field one lap down. Gerber Forian makes the move way high as Trevor blocks 2 lanes of traffic there. Adam cruising away quite steadily. This is going to hurt him in the momentum as he'll get so far away from the lead group. They're going to draft in on him like he's a sitting duck. Now we got Clarence Bonner up to 4th, Tayden Berggren in 5th, Craig Busch in 6th, Andrew Moger in 7th, James Fireball Robert in 8th. They're single file right now at the front of the field, but that pack is looking unstable right about at the middle there. 3 by 3 by 3. The lap traffic slowing them up here. This is likely going to spell trouble if they can't get around him quicker. Oh, and now we got another driver blowing up here at the front of the field. The 89 of Gavin Legend blowing it up. He was running all the way up in 8th place when the engine gave loose. These guys have not had this much attrition up to this point. 50% engine damage. That's going to be a day ender for sure. In the meantime, James Fireball Robert leading over Tyler Landa, Santi Messi, and Adam Starr. Adam Starr, another one of those title contenders, would be a great night if he could get a good finish here and help his stock moving into the round of 9 perhaps, or at least through the last 2 races of the round of 13 here. They're kind of single filed out up to 7th place, and then we get back into the pack racing. That mechanical failure for the 89 definitely shook up the running order a little bit, causing some guys to lag behind. We've still been pretty much caution free since the initial caution way back on lap 3. And the leaders are going to start getting caught up on by the other drivers in the longer pack behind them. And we'll be back to full on 2x2x2 close compact racing here. Tyler Landa leading the way right now over Taden Berggren. Berggren thinks about it but holds his line there as Landa cuts down low to take the momentum away from that inside line. He's going to try to dice it back to the top here and take momentum away from the outside line. And that gives up the position as Adam Gerbeforian makes the move and takes the lead. Adam Gerbeforian and now John Brinker up to second. Lucas Holmes up to third. Braden Hunt up to fourth. Brinker making a move here. And it would be so awesome if we could have at least a photo finish here at Talladega today. That was pretty close at the start-finish line. As you could see, the differential was very tight. 0.02 as Adam Gerbeforian held the lead there on lap 30 over John Brinker in the 78 car. Braden Hunt taking the lead away with a good push from Fred Jones. Jack Davis as well helping. Oh, and John Brinker goes way high there. Almost gets into the wall. And maybe he's got something going wrong with that car. Does not seem to show any mechanical woes for the 78. Just got really high there and is losing momentum. Green flag pit stops are going to be around the corner here. And there's no telling how that's going to play out. And just like I mentioned already, one taker, we've got the 61 of Brian DeBlank coming down pit road. They're claiming that the Audi does not get as good a fuel mileage as the rest of the manufacturers running out there. Hence the reason why Brian DeBlank came down pit road very first. All alone, unfortunately, is going to make it a little bit more difficult to find a drafting partner upon returning to the race. And our second round of pit stops here, a whole bunch of people coming down pit road. A little bit of slow up as they're trying to get to their pit stall just right. And almost certainly we're not going to see as many people in the lead draft now, since green flag pit stops tend to break up the draft. We're going to see probably some separation amongst the top drivers. and maybe even 2 packs form. Wow, just like that, Brian DeBlanc having made his pit stop first. Looks like he's going to get shuffled around to the lead once the rest of the people come down pit road for their pit stop. These 3 fighting for it right now will still have to make a pit stop in the next lap or 2. And maybe, perhaps I was mistaken. I didn't see these guys come down pit road. But the way things are shaping up, it looks like they were the ones that were able to make the most out of their green flag pit stops, inheriting the front of the field here. Brian DeBlanc with a great pit stop was still able to come out in the top 10. Zach Armstrong as well rejoins the field in the top 10 here. Good pit stop on his half. And then we got a third pack towards the back here. And even smaller packs formed deeper through the field. 4th, 5th, even 6th and a 7th pack. These 4 at the front, they're definitely not getting away from that second pack behind them. That second pack's going to start closing in on them. But in the meantime, it's Fred Jones leading the way. Captain Papyrus. Or I guess you could even call him Captain America. Captain America is under attack here as he gets pushed 3 wide. Brian DeBlanc to the position underneath James King. And now we've got about 10 cars within the lead draft fighting for the win here around lap 40. So we're officially 1/3 of the way through the race here today. 40 of 120. 320 miles. Definitely is a good showing, and we've seen only 1 caution so far. Pretty minimal sized wreck involving the 8 of Al Bunch and the 21 of Trevor Walker. Their cars sustained some damage in the wreck and have not been running the same since. Trevor Walker is actually a lap down, and he's going to end up using all of those bonus points that he got from the regular season here in the first round of 13. Different cast of characters at the front of this one, as we've got Zach Armstrong leading the way right now. You got Justin Patrick here, Andrew Moger, Kat Durham, and all these names I'm listing are not championship contenders, so they're not fighting for a championship. They're simply fighting to get a win that they have not been able to obtain this season. Brian DeBlanc, one of the first, if actually second, with Josh Harrison leading right now. Josh Harrison's in the championship battle. Those two in close proximity now as Brian DeBlanc is going to get by Andrew Moger here. Lap traffic's going to cause a little bit of distress at the front of the field as Trevor Walker is blocking the momentum from the inside line right now. That allows for Justin Patrick to drive off quite a ways. This is going to slow up the process, and the draft is going to catch up to Patrick in rapid fashion. Still not able to get around Trevor Walker here. Brian DeBlanc struggling on that. As you've got a standard 2-car breakaway in this lead pack. Josh Harrison and Justin Patrick leading the rest of the field. apart from one wreck, we've really only seen attrition strike this race heavily. In the 58 laps run so far, we've had 3 retirements due to mechanical failure. The 89 of Gavin Legend with an ignition failure, the 10 of Jordan Walker with a valve failure, and the 09 of Matthew Fastnot with a gearbox failure. Currently 26 drivers left on the lead lap. And that won't be for long as they're catching that next group, which would be only 19 on the lead lap if they put them a lap down. We still got 10 cars in contention at the front of the field in the lead pack. Second pack consists of 11th on back to 17th. And we got green flag pit stops happening again here on lap 58. That gets us to about halfway. And that's going to be cutting it pretty tight for making it on one more stop. There's probably going to be at least one more stop, if not 2 stops for some people. And the crazy part is going to be seeing just how many of those 10 stay running together even after green flag pit stops. The green flag pit stops are definitely going to add a wrinkle as to where they're running and how tight they are on field. There's going to be some people that lose the lead draft, and we might be down to about 8 people in that lead pack or less. We're officially halfway through the race, 60 of 120, 60 laps to go. And on the 60 laps to go, it looks like most people are making their second round of green flag pit stops here. The last of them coming down pit road now as Zach Armstrong, James Fireball Robert, and Santi Messi relinquish their position on track to come down pit road. As they rejoin the track, it looks like Zach Armstrong might be able to maintain the lead here. And pretty easily as he comes out with a steady lead over the main pack. The main pack's going to catch him here shortly. But like I was saying, it looks like we're down to 8 drivers in the lead pack after those round of green flag pit stops. Santi Messi, he might not have even been in the contention there, so. But drivers like Brian DeBlanc has lost the lead draft. Andrew Moger. And they're now within the second pack of drivers that include Braden Hunt, Adam Starr, Daniel Paulus, and a couple like that at the back. And so then there were 8. All these guys still running very hard without bringing out very many cautions or wrecks in this race. We're already at lap 75 of 120. And another retirement joins the circuit. The 21 of Trevor Walker has a valve failure, just like his brother. So apparently those team cars had a similar mechanical failure rear its ugly head on both team engines. Trevor Walker and Jordan Walker definitely did not need this. It's going to be huge for them once they go to the road course later in this round of 13. The Indy road course will be a huge event for Trevor Walker, as he's been a road course ringer through and through. He's gonna need some luck and maybe a good finish at the road course. Good thing that Talladega, as it always is, a wild card race, that it's the first race in the round of 13 here, giving the drivers a chance to dig their way out if they find themselves in a hole. And it looks like we're going to have a lot of title contenders in a hole here at the conclusion of the race here tonight. 3 title contenders with Matthew Fastnot, Jordan Walker, and Trevor Walker out of the race already. And you can even add on to that Al Bunch with a rough run here tonight, sitting in 29th, 1 lap down. The lack of cautions is allowing this race to get very strung out, and very few people left running within the lead pack are going to have a chance at winning it. Next round of pit stops coming here on lap 80, so it's almost perfectly at a 40 lap stint that they can go where they have to pit again. And so if these guys can stretch it just a little longer, they should be able to make it to the finish, but it'll be pushing it if they even have a green-white checkered finish. If there's anything that comes out that would bring out a green-white checkered, they would be hurting for gas. Right there, lead group looks like they're getting ready to come down pit road, perhaps. One taker, a couple of them juking around, making you think they were going to pit. Fred Jones leading the way. That would be an interesting win for sure, Mr. Papyrus. Seems like everyone's going to stretch it as long as they can here to try and give themselves as many laps of gas to the end of the race. A lot of drivers that didn't want to try to push it have already started making their pit stops, but these guys want to push it and have enough gas to play with till the finish, or even a green-white checkers if that's to come. We've got Tom Cording and Fred Jones pitting now. These two staying out. Only one on the lead lap being the 79 of James Robert. John Brinker lap down in 20th. Fireball Robert finally coming down pit road here. That'll cycle all our leaders around pit road here. Got 30 laps to go here, and we've only got 2 guys within the lead draft. Fred Jones leads the way over Tom Cording, as the second and third groups are 2, 3, and 8 seconds back. So what we'll do here is throw a competition caution. And hopefully we'll have at least a decent finish to spectate here. This will give us almost the perfect scenario on fuel mileage. With 29 laps to go, this should give us a good fight to the finish. So with still 24 cars on the lead lap, everyone's going to get caught back up to the lead, and we'll have at least one opportunity to see a good finish here. Wouldn't want it to be a walk-away blowout win. We would love to see a great finish, so that'll be on tap for us. Alrighty, getting back going green here on lap 95. That means we'll have 25 laps to go here at Talladega. On the front row, we've got Fred Jones and Logan Nagy. Behind them, we've got Nadak Hagum and Tom Cording, James King and Clarence Bonner, Josh Harrison, Adam Starr, and James Robert and Kat Durham. Everyone pretty much with a fighting chance to get a win here still. 20 cars, 25 laps to go. Logan Nagy with the lead over Fred Jones. Jones cuts down low with the drafting help of Nadak Hagum. James King and Josh Harrison, as well as Fireball Robert, pushing him to the lead, leaving Logan Nagy in the dust. Zach Armstrong cracking into 6th there, would love to get a win. And we're seeing a lot of separation already as they're almost 4 wide at the back. Logan Nagy having to pit. With Logan Nagy pitting like that, it slowed up that second pack significantly. And so now we've really got 3 groups of cars separated throughout the field. Kind of back to where we were earlier before the second round of green flag pit stops, where we only really have about 8 cars in the lead pack right now. But there's a second group that's materializing, and they're drafting to try and catch up to this lead pack. Before you know it, they'll be mixing it up with leaders. Fireball Robert leads that lap. Zach Armstrong second. Harrison third. Sorrell Tracy fourth. King in fifth. And that drops Fred Jones back to 7th. Here comes Adam Starr with a push from Brian DeBlank. Now we've got 10 cars in the picture fighting for the win. And soon to be about 14 cars in the picture fighting for the win. Like I said, they're probably going to be pushing it very close to making it the entire way without another pit stop. Here's to hoping that they don't have to make any more pit stops and we can get a good finish here at the end. 3 wide at the lead, 3 wide in the second row, third and fourth row, all of which are 3 wide right now. Racing hard like it's the last lap. We still got 20 laps to go. TKM Total Knockout Motorsports running second and third with Jack Davis and Tom Cording right there. Both of them running hard, 3 wide behind them, 2 rows of it. Luckily they are not 4 wide, as we've got a whole lot of racing happening at the front here. Jack Davis to the lead. Clarence Bonner now to the lead. A lot of opportunity to see a new winner here today. Fred Jones, Jack Davis, Zach Armstrong, Kat Durham, Riley Sorrell Tracy, Tom Cording. It's a whole lot of potential new candidates in. Even Brian DeBlank still in the mix, could get his first career win here today. After the truck race win by Atlee Weiss, that was a pretty good story for Atlee Weiss. And hopefully today here we can see another feel-good story in the Busch Series. Still about 20 laps short of the finish here, but setting up to be a good one. James Fireball Robert in the lead, Adam Starr in second, Brian DeBlanc fourth, Cat Durham third. Now it's Brian DeBlanc up to third as the lead's too wide for the lead. They're catching up to the lap traffic there of Logan Nagy, who had to make an unscheduled pit stop at the restart there, slowing up the field. And now he's going to end up slowing up the field yet again as they catch up to him at the rear of the field. DeBlanc peeking on the inside here. Don't know if that's the right move to make because Logan Nagy is going to be holding that inside line. And ultimately, Adam Starr is going to be the lucky beneficiary there. As Starr maintains the lead, Logan Nagy holding up that inside line. DeBlanc cuts down on him. And this is often where we see a wreck, is once that lap car gets into the mix, it holds up the traffic. Someone will force it 4 wide often and cause the wreck with that lap car in the picture. So far so good. They're able to navigate around the 44 of Nagy with ease. Nagy actually has been able to merge into the traffic here and maintain his speed. So he's not much of a sitting duck. That car's still good enough to be a contender. It's unfortunately just a lap down now. DeBlanc leading a whole hungry pack of drivers behind him. We've already noticed, it's noted that the Audi does not get as good a fuel mileage as the rest of the drivers out there. Leading the way as he is right now, he's definitely burning more fuel. So we're going to have to see how that situation unfolds. Hopefully he can make it the rest of the way without any fuel troubles. The smart move would be to let the other guys by and settle back into fuel save mode as much as he can. "15 laps to go this time by as Fred Jones takes to the lead yet again. And still 12, 13 different cars in contention for the win here today, as Adam Starr in 13th could still find his way to the front and win it. 20 cars on the lead lap, make that 23. That second pack about 3 seconds out of the lead. Still a lot of positions there that make a big difference depending on how they finish. Championship contenders such as Daniel Paulus and the 65 of Lucas Holmes. As long as they can get some more positions there, they'll minimize the loss of points that they may receive here today in Talladega. Big gainers in the championship battle is definitely going to be Fireball Robert, Adam Starr, Josh Harrison, and Brian DeBlanc. all of which are having a stellar run here today at Talladega, avoiding wrecks and carnage, and overall having a lucky day. May not be a great day, just keeping out of trouble. Three wide for the lead. Adam Starr in the middle. Fred Jones up high. Jones is going to have to drop here, lose some spots. And it's the TCAM Total Knockout Motorsports teammates running nose and tail yet again. Tommy and Jack Davis. Jack Davis cracks on the inside there, and it's going to make it three wide with their teammate. Brian DeBlanc may have been a little bit to help there to give the push on the number 50 of Jack Davis to get him on the inside of the other two there. We had one caution early in the race to an actual wreck, and then we did have one competition caution to allow us for a good finish here today. And really, the only dropouts of the race have been the ones with attrition due to mechanical failures. And you just saw it there live, the 83 of Fred Jones dipped down pit road. That is not a good sign for the rest of the field, who will likely still have to come in and make one final pit stop with around the last 10 laps here. Someone might try to push it. We'll have to see. Fred Jones was definitely looking to be one of the ones to beat here today. And making that pit stop like he did, that's going to almost put his day to an end. Down to our final 10 laps. That's still 26 miles to go. No more takers down pit road this time by, as it's going to be 9 laps to go. Adam Starr taking the lead away from Fireball Robert. And creeping into the picture is that second pack. As you can see, the 88 of Taden Berggren and the rest of them are mounting a charge here in the closing laps. This could play a factor and really change the outcome of this race if that second pack is able to work together and stump the lead pack. They're going to be there really quick like. This is going to get interesting. Very exciting. Taden Berggren would love to get a win here. Knowing him and his situation. Oh, we got another one. Nadak coming down pit road. This is definitely going to be pushing it on fuel mileage. You got to imagine some of these guys towards the back might have pitted during the caution. Some of the other guys stayed out, try to maintain track position, and try to push the envelope here. They're dropping like flies from the lead pack, as we saw Nadak Hagum and Fred Jones make their pit stops. But the lap counter, it's so close to over here today. You got to imagine that this is going to be a strategy nightmare for whoever loses the race because of the fuel numbers that they've been given. So no longer is it 12 cars in contention for the win. Now it's back up to 20 cars in contention for the win here today, as we've got actually 21 cars in contention. The entire field that was on the lead lap, except for the two guys that had to pit, Fred Jones and Nadak Hagum, sitting 22nd and 23rd. Taden Berggren catched up, running by the leader here. Taden Berggren's going to take the lead in a very stylish manner. Kind of shakes the whole field up. That is crazy. I did not think that the second pack could come from 3 seconds down to leading the field like this. Taden Berggren has shocked the entire field, coming from 12th to the lead in a matter of a couple laps. Six laps to go, and man, we'll see if there's probably going to be a lot of people running out of gas across the start-finish line here in this one. Might even have a big wreck happen because of someone running out of gas in a very inopportune time. Just when you think it's going to be one outcome, you get the whole table flipped upside down, and I have no way to explain the chaos craziness that we're watching right here. This is going to be a huge, huge boost for whoever, whether it's Taden Berggren, Daniel Paulus, Adam Starr. These three guys could win the race, still win the race, and they move on to the next round of the playoffs. We saw it happen last night in the Truck Series where one of the championship contenders won the race, and it's setting up to look just the same here today in the Busch Series. Couldn't ask for anything better to have 21 cars all within the lead pack here, right at the end of it. Everyone played their cards a little bit differently, and perhaps the winning hand may be in Taden Berggren's possession. Moger moving up to second here. Got a little bit of drafting help from his teammate of Braden Hunt behind him. Taden Berggren's making this Legend Motorsports Chevy look strong out front. Team owner Gavin Legend blew up earlier in the race. A little bit of banter on the radio whether or not Taden Berggren's car was going to be affected. It seems that Gavin Legend was confident that the 88 should be able to make it all the way through the race. That the situation was a standalone. Oh no, don't pit. We've got our last round of pit stops here with 3 laps to go. And I'm almost certain that we're going to have to see everyone come back down pit road. Fred Jones has finally lost so much momentum here that he's getting overhauled for putting him a lap down. So Berggren, unfortunately, the fuel numbers were not lining up, having to come down pit road with 3 laps to go. But it's almost safe to assume that no one's going to match those fuel numbers, as this lap will probably see more people come down pit road. There we go. Everyone but Braden Hunt coming down pit road. Braden Hunt staying out. He's going to lead this lap. I can't imagine that Braden Hunt's going to try to do the impossible here and stay out the entire stretch of the finish here. Brian DeBlank still has not pitted, maintaining a 4th. After having been up in the top 10, he dropped all the way back to 20th, back up to 4th here. Braden Hunt coming around turn 4 here. Likely he's going to have to pit. He's going to stay out. He's going to take the white flag, even if it means he's going to coast around the track. He's going to take the white flag here. I don't think we've ever seen a race where the driver runs out of fuel on the last lap. It could happen. Perhaps he crunched the numbers to perfection. The mile per hour dips a little bit as he's down to 187. A little bit of drafting help there from Fred Jones, giving him a bump. And even if he runs out of gas now, he should be able to coast the rest of the way. 185, 184, 183. He is out of gas. Coasting it around turn 3, turn 4. The only difference with Talladega is the long front stretch to the start-finish line. He's going to have to hold off James Robert here, who's got still enough fuel in the tank to make it. And Braden Hunt is going to take the checkered flag in a stellar fashion, running it until there was no more fuel in the tank. Coming home second was James Robert. Third, Brian DeBlank. 4th place, Lucas Holmes. 5th place, Kellen Oakley. Unfortunately, Taden Berggren burnt too much gas coming back through the field there that he had to come down and get some fuel. That's the curse of being the leader in a situation like that. He wanted to just go for it all. Burned too much gas and had to pit. Belafon coming home 6th. Harrison 7th. Taden Berggren. Cat Durham comes home 8th. Taden Berggren 9th. Zach Armstrong 10th. And Tom Cording 11th. But the winner on the day, Braden Hunt, outlasting the whole field. You could see him running out of gas as he's still coasting around the track here. He would have had enough gas to coast all the way around for one more lap if he had to. Although he would have been so far off the pace that he would have definitely lost the race at that point. We got to see a crazy finish here at Talladega, something you don't often see. A fuel mileage race at a Superspeedway determine the winner here. Not only that, Braden Hunt is in the hunt for the playoffs, and this locks him into the round of 10 going forward. So, beyond crazy. We had quite the finish here today. This is going to put a few other people in the danger zone with a driver like Braden Hunt that only had 5 playoff points, locking himself onto the next round. He'll have another 5 points with the win. He'll have 10 points going into the round of 10 unless he wins some more races before the start of that next session. And we don't take much of a rest here with the Busch Series. Our next race will just be in another day's time, and we're going to hit the dirt at Bristol, which will also be somewhat of an unpredictable wild card for the series. Last time we were on the dirt, Jordan Walker dominated and led every single lap on the last dirt track we went to. Could that perhaps be foreshadowing for what we'll see in the next one? Nine races left to go, and Braden Hunt gonna celebrate tonight, and he'll be alive for at least one more round in the playoffs with the win here tonight. Win and you move on. So congratulations to Braden Hunt, James Robert, and Brian DeBlanc on a good finish here at Talladega.
Did you have that same ignition problem?
Hope everyone enjoyed the race here. Talladega has been an interesting one for sure. And that'll cap out the weekend of Superspeedway racing that we had. Like I said, next on is the dirt race for Bristol. And we won't be back to a Superspeedway until the first race in the round of 10, where we'll hit Orlando, which will be part of the truck race. The truck season goes to Orlando, and the Busch season goes to Orlando. So hopefully y'all enjoyed the Talladega race here. Congratulations to Braden Hunt on securing his second win in the series and also separating himself from a few of the others and moving on to the next round in the playoffs. So hopefully y'all have a good night, and we'll catch you on the next one.